Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, owner of PutYourselfFirst.com, and you may want to be in on what these top tips that I'm going to give you, healthy habits of successfully fit people. Now you probably are already doing all of those, especially if you've been a fan of the Power Blast podcast and been following the journey and we've been connecting. But if not, these tips, either they're going to give you a big aha moment and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I did not know that. I want to get in on that and do that myself. Or it will just be validating to you to say, I do that. So I'm going to break this into two small sections, two podcasts, back-to-back weeks here to kind of just share this information with you. And let's start with the top tip number one is to start with fuel. Got a little note card here to doing that. You want to start your day. People that have healthy habits and that are really successfully fit start their day with breakfast. That doesn't mean you have to have that first thing, because another way to start your day with fuel is to get a workout done. Okay, so if you're going to do both, workout, I recommend doing the workout first. That's what I do: workout and then breakfast. There's a lot of people out there that skip this part. They wake up at the last minute, quick, get in the shower, grab, rush, and head, maybe grab coffee, and that's it. That's their fuel. Not the best fuel to start the day with, although, a cup of coffee is fine. But breakfast is essential. You know what my breakfast is that I typically have. I use Shakeology because it's so nutrient dense and it gives me that burst. But getting your workout in is super great way to just kickstart the adrenaline, kickstart your energy, and it kind of keeps you away from those afternoon excuses when you get home from work. So that's one way to start your day with fuel. The next one, which is pretty interesting, it's kind of keep the same menu items. Successful people that have successful habits aren't really going and having all sorts of wild, 18 different types of breakfasts that they have in the cupboard. There are diet books and eating plan books and menu guides that we even get with the workout programs that we have here, and there's all these varieties. They're put there to keep you from being bored, but in essence, you want to have just something that, a couple, 2, 3 things that you can rely on and that your body just loves and craves. You stick with that. Not only does it make things simple for you to be able to prepare, but you can count on it. You know how to what to do, and that's what healthy the healthy habits that these successfully fit people do. So that's one thing I noticed. While we do mix things up from time to time, there are some of our go-to items that we always have. You probably can relate to that. The next one I want to say is a no-brainer, but I think it's easily overlooked. It's water. Hydrate. It's going to improve your energy, improve your body functions, make your skin feel better. You just glow. The sun's making me glow, see? Because of the water, right? But water is so essential, and it's probably one of the most inexpensive supplements that you can have, unless you're buying the really expensive bottled water, but you don't need that. But water, religiously, intentionally, throughout the day, make sure it happens. There's some even applications, apps that you can have on your smartphone to give you an alert or a reminder. Drink your water. So do a little search for that in your app store. Whole Foods, and I'm not talking about the grocery store. 75 to 80% of your eating, if you can get whole, great, organic types of foods, raw food, not necessarily even raw, but just whole foods that are as close to nature as possible. because that's the stuff that your body is just going to just crave and absorb. And I'm not talking about, you know, going and getting pesticide-filled type of things. I mean, you've got to do your research there. But having, you know, that's close to really clean eating, as your body was going to crave that. And so you're going to find that once you switch over, and this is what my discovery was, because I was not a vegetable guy. Get rid of them. But once I started integrating those within my eating, and it was a process to get used to, I didn't, you know, the gag factor and all that stuff, you know, I didn't want to do that. But as I started going and I was working out, my body started saying, yes, this is amazing. Give me more, give me more. And while my taste buds didn't necessarily agree initially, and it took some time, now I have no issues with vegetables and things like that, but you know, whole foods. And the last thing I want to share with you today is to eat small portions more often throughout the day. I think a lot of people that struggle with their weight and their energy are the people that skip breakfast. Then eventually they've gone they've slept all night, they've gone a long time, and all of a sudden they're starving at lunch. They have a huge lunch, then they have that really slumbering type of feeling throughout the day. Then they kind of come out of their coma, and you know, then you have to work long hours and get home late, and then have this huge dinner. And so that's not giving the sustained fuel for the body, and you have these big sugar crashes and these big peaks and valleys of kind of, you've probably experienced that comatose type of thing. It's just going to keep your energy levels balanced that way, and by doing that, you're going to lose weight, you're going to feel great, you're going to be fit, you're going to be happy. So those are 5 of the top tips. I'm going to share more with you next week. But, you know, starting with fuel, having the same menu, water, whole foods, eating often in small portions. I would love to hear from you and how they've worked for you, and maybe any recommendations that you have within within those top tips, and how they've worked for you. And if you haven't considered something, you know, post your questions below, or get back to me. Or even share here, like, I did not know that. I'm going to give that a try. And then we can monitor and see how it works for you. Hey, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.